back in 1992. I was going for a swim on a Sunday morning in a local river down in West Cork. I dived in and hit a rock, and I shattered C6, C7 and damaged my spine. Ended up in a wheelchair. Wheelchair rugby started in Ireland back, I think it was around 95-ish. It was actually a friend, it was a guy I met in the rehab, Garrett Culloden, was one of the main starters of the sport. It was a sport that was designed for quadriplegics, sometimes that's injuries with 4 limbs of the body. Like there's always been wheelchair basketball, but kind of quadriplegics struggle to keep up with that. My personal background was I played a bit of GAA up to about 16, and I suppose like a lot of young kids that age, I kind of faded away from sport. I had my accident when I was 18, and it took me a while to get back into sport after. I really wasn't a big sports person. It was actually a guy, Garrett Culloden, the guy that helped start up Wheelchair Rugby, got me into sport. Probably he was being selfish at the time, so he was mad into sport and he wanted more quads in the country to try and compete against in athletics. So that kind of got me into the whole sporting thing, and I went from that right through. I've been to 3 Paralympics now. I've actually won a silver medal back in Athens and discus. I've competed in so many Europeans now with the Irish Wheelchair Rugby team, and the World Championships in Wheelchair Rugby a few months ago. So I've kind of gone from not too into sport into world level. Yeah, exactly. So it's been a funny old ride.
I was the passenger in the car, and my boyfriend at the time was driving the car. The tree came from his side, but whatever way, it fell on the roof, hit me in the head, and snapped my neck back, and that was me. While I was in rehab, sport is not really a kind of a thing, because you're kind of having to relearn everything. All your basic things, getting in and out of bed, getting dressed, all those things take longer, and you need to learn new ways to do them. So basic life skills are really your main core thing to kind of work on there, to make sure you're able to deal with life when you leave. So yeah, that was the main focus while I was there, but leaving the rehab and getting involved in sport has definitely improved my life and improved my independence to date. I left rehab unable to get my chair in my car, do you know what I mean? Simple things like that. The lads taught me that peer support is a massive thing within the sport, and I always, anybody I meet that's newly injured, I always strongly encourage them to get involved in a sport, because once you're around people with disabilities, do you know what I mean, you're going to learn something from them, or you're not going to be able to have a bad day because they know what it's like. So it's an integral part, I think. It's a very fast, hard-hitting game, and everybody that's involved in it loves the hits. Well, we don't enjoy landing on our heads, but that's the attraction, I think, to the sport. I think that's what draws a lot of people coming in to watch the sport. It's people with disabilities not being afraid to get hurt and getting in there, hitting each other as hard as we can. And again, female side, we don't get any niceness. They treat us just as mean as they treat the lads, and they hit us just as hard.
Hopefully it might encourage guys that don't realise they can play the game, because I think wheelchair sports nowadays, back in the day, a lot of disabled people would have been in special schools, but nowadays disability is mainstream, and students go to mainstream schools, so they don't get access to wheelchair sports probably as readily. So we do have to kind of go out and find athletes nowadays and show them these games are out there for them.
I love it. I love the lads, where you create strong bonds, strong friendships, even just within it socially. And then if you want to go to a higher competitive level, there's the avenue there for you to move up through the sport and make it to an Irish squad and travel to different competitions. There's lots to be gained from being part of it.